Hey, welcome back, fellow escapees. So I had to make this video today because this really hits home. After you watch this video, if this does not get you to take some action today and start thinking about your future, thinking about how you're gonna have a backup plan, then I don't know what will. But I had a similar situation as this guy, not the exact same situation, but I asked my employer to leave a job for 2 days and to go to a funeral, and basically on my way back I got like a text message not for termination. So this gentleman in this video, he has some family leave time built up. He got permission way before it was time to take his family leave to his paternity leave to help his wife as she was gonna be delivering their second child. He wanted to be there for the birth of that, and he wanted to take a few 2 weeks off to be able to spend time with the baby as it, as it was as it came into this world. So basically the job had approved it. They knew all about it. He leaves, and while he's out with his wife, he gets a notification within a few days that or within that week that he has been terminated. It blindsided him because he didn't foresee anything wrong with his performance at work or saw this coming. But this is happening to a lot of people. Jobs are finding all kinds of reasons to let people go, and they're doing it at the most vulnerable time of people's lives. And they know this. That's the thing. They knew. His bosses knew. He said he had good rapport at his job. So they knew he was planning to take this time off, and they decided to do this to him and his family. And so it just goes to show you that these jobs care nothing about you. I keep saying that. I keep stressing that. There are very few companies. I think maybe Costco's is one of them. And there's another one, I think it's a Seattle-based company where I'm gonna find the information on this company because I do want to share it. But that company in Seattle, I believe the CEO pays way above average wages so that his employees can have really high incomes and salaries. He has a low turnover rate at his company. He has great benefits, and even though his company makes a lot of money, he redistributes a lot of that profit back into his employees. So, and he also speaks out like I do. He speaks out against what these companies are doing to their employees, not caring about their employees. Now, we do know that some companies do have to lay people off. They do have to do that if the company's not successful. Like if you have a company and it's going out of business, you have a company that's not successful, yes, you're gonna have to do this. But these cases that I speak about on my channel, this is not what's going on. Those big oil companies, these big United Healthcare companies, hospital companies, insurance companies, this is not what's going on with those type of companies. Google, Meta, that's laying people off, Tesla. So, Tesla definitely doesn't have to lay anybody off. Elon Musk has enough income to redistribute just a little bit, like a teeny bit of his income, and keep those employees on for a little longer or help them transition into another job. But what these employers are doing, they're locking people out like Meta did, or Google. I believe Google did. They lock people out of their email. They woke up, they're locked out of their email. They're getting termination emails, like no warning at all. These companies are telling you to put in a 2-week notice, and they give you a less than 30-second notice. So basically, let's just jump into this video, and then after this video plays, I'm gonna come back and just talk to you guys a little bit about what you can do if this happens to you, and hopefully you guys will take this as a warning that these companies do not care about you. You have to start taking back your power. You have to start, planning how you're going to have a plan, a fallback plan in case this happens to you or your family. So let's go ahead and jump into the video and see what he has to say.
3, 2, 1.
Ryan Tarter cherishes every moment he gets with his daughter, Sunny.
They grew up way too fast.
When she was 6 months old, Colorado started offering paid family leave through a program called Family.
Oh, it's huge. I didn't get that chance with my son. I missed that with him, so I didn't want to miss that with her.
Family offers 12 weeks of paid parental leave to qualifying employees in Colorado. It's funded through a fee employers and employees share, less than 1% of the employee's wages. In return, employees can take those 12 weeks while the program pays up to 80% of their salary. capped at $1,100 a week.
Let's take advantage of this, take her and go see some family that she hadn't been able to meet yet.
In March, Tarter applied for the benefits, and on March 13th, the state approved.
The first email came at 8 in the morning, and that was the approval for the benefits. So we're like excited, we're like, yes, we can take this time off.
2 weeks later, Tarter started his leave, setting off on a road trip to visit family. And for 4 weeks, he received family benefits payments.
Middle of April is when I got another email from family saying that a grievance had been filed.
A grievance filed by his employer.
And then I got another email back like the next day saying that I need to pay back what I had been receiving, or I've had received so far. In the middle of our road trip, that was a big hit.
See, that same day Tarter got an email saying he was eligible for benefits, the state also informed his boss. And at 5:08 that same evening, Tarter's boss emailed him. I am forced to let you go in order to replace you with an employee that will show up reliably and on time. Tarter lost his job the same day he was approved for paid leave.
There was no indication that he had any ill feelings towards me or anything. It just was completely out of the blue.
He says he checked in with the state about that job loss several times and was told he was still eligible for those leave benefits. Now, all these weeks later, the state suddenly said Tarter wasn't eligible because he wasn't employed when his leave started. And the state wants its money back, some $3,400.
Extremely disappointing and kind of like blindsided by it, that the firing would have happened and then the grievance on top of it seems very retaliatory.
Tarter filed a complaint alleging he was fired for taking those benefits. Then he called Steve on Your Side.
So as you guys can see, that really blindsided him and his family, and it's really heartbreaking to see people going through this because, like I said, it hit home for me, and I'm sure it's hitting home for a lot of you guys as y'all are realizing that y'all are waking up and you're out of work, or your family, somebody in your family, your spouse, your children that you sent off to college or now returning home without, a bright future. So if you find yourself in this position, it depends on what age you are when something like this hits you. I know that, during a good 20, 30, 40-year career span, you could be laid off or fired several times within that career span. So this is the time where you want to, as soon as you have an income where you have some, after your bills are paid, the priority is your health, of course, eating, your health. You gotta have your necessities. You gotta eat, you gotta have clean drinking water, you have to have a safe place to stay. But once your basic necessities are taken care of, you want to make sure that you are finding assets to invest in. If you are not in a position right now to start a side hustle or something on the side for yourself, go ahead and take the money that you do have and start finding anywhere from conservative bond funds, low-cost index funds, mutual funds, ETFs. Start finding some equities that you can start investing in so you can start owning portions of companies that are profitable and starting to get, anywhere from 4 to 8% return on your money, so your money could be growing in the background. Now, while your money's growing in the background, you're still going to work the job that you do have, assuming that you're already in a job right now, or if you've been laid off or fired, you found a job after a while. So once you find a job, take that money and start investing it. Stop being a consumer. If you don't have a lot of money, you do not need to be a consumer. You need to be a saver, an investor, or either a business owner, or have something on the side for you and your family, because when shit hits the fan like this, it puts your families behind several years in order to recoup, especially when there's layoffs and you were blindsided. And then, like in this video, this guy actually owes money back to the state. So he has to pay money back that he wasn't expecting to pay. And on top of that, he has a new child and a family to provide for. And society always said we want a man involved in the homes. We want the men involved in their kids' lives. And then this guy is trying to do the right thing, and then he is his job basically terminates him for trying to take care of his family and be there for his family. And I'm sure, like most of you guys out there, y'all are working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week for these companies anyway. So you're giving your life to these companies anyway. And then when you ask for 1 or 2 weeks off to go take care of your family, this is what you're met with. So you want to this is what I believe. I believe you have to put family first. Family will always be there for you, and your kids grow up very fast. So I believe he did the right thing. He will find another job. He will recover, but it may take him a while to do so. And it's going to definitely set his family back a little bit, and it's going to set his savings back a little bit. But, start making sure while you have these jobs, you're saving, you're investing, you're cutting out, unnecessary costs and expense out of your life. And you're starting to buy yourself some real estate, some rental properties, so you can get the tax deductions, you can get some passive income stream, and you have that something coming in for yourself and building on the side. And then after that, you can start looking at businesses to acquire. There's a lot of businesses for sale that you can acquire. So you start, once you build up that nest egg, let's say you're still working at a job, you start looking for businesses you can either partner in or that you can acquire yourself, and maybe your spouse can run that, or you can run that, or even if you have to quit your job and just go run that business, do that. Do whatever you have to do, but take these videos seriously. I'm not making them just because I want to make them. I'm making them because we're in desperate times. Desperate times calls for desperate measures, they say. So take these videos as like, this is your wake up call. This is like your time to take control of your life and take your power back and finally wake up and realize these companies do not care about me. I may or may not have a job for the next 20, 30, 40 years. We have a lot of age discrimination. So even if you're like, I love my company, I want to be there for the next 20 to 30, 40, 50 years, whatever, you don't know, like I've said in so many videos, if a new manager is going to come in and that new manager is going to replace you with their friends, their own family. I've seen that happen. Or they're going to have, just changes with technology and they don't need your role anymore. And so, or they, whatever. There's so many reasons you can lose a job. And then when you get to that 50, 60-year-old age, maybe even 70, you realize you have a hard time getting back into the workforce and finding work because people start judging you because of your age. Like, that's so crazy because I know a lot of 40, 50, 60-year-olds that have a lot of great energy, like very vibrant people. So, and they can work just as well. So I don't understand what all this age discrimination is coming from, but it's out there, it's happening. And I just want to make this video so you can start preparing your life and preparing yourself for what is coming, and stop like sleeping in living in this hazy, drunken state of mind that, oh, I'm safe and it's not going to happen to me. Unless you're a very wealthy person or very, got a lot of money saved and invested, or unless you own a company, you're at risk. So please take these videos as your wake-up call. Please start implementing some kind of plan for yourself and your family. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and check out my next video. I'm always here to help. I'm happy to help. You have my information. Reach out to me if you need any help with your escape plan. I'll talk to you guys soon.